So Shannon, can you tell me where Honduras is located?
Probably South America.
Okay, and what do you think their main economy is based off of?
Probably drugs.
Okay, thank you. So Ryan, where do you think Honduras is located?
I think China is the last place I remember.
Like near China?
Yeah, near China.
Okay, and what do you think its main economy is based off of?
I'm gonna say rice, iguanas.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So Dre, do you know where Honduras is located at?
Earth.
Can you be more specific?
The biosphere.
Okay, do you have a guess as what their main economy is?
I have no clue.
All right, well, thank you anyways. So Hector, where do you think Honduras is located?
Honduras is located in Central America. It's 2 countries below Mexico.
Okay, and what is their economy based on?
Their economy is pretty much based on farming and whatever they can get from the sea.
All right, thank you. So I'm sitting here with Manny Escudero, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. So first off, Manny, where do you think Honduras is located?
In the Pacific Ocean?
Okay, and what do you think their economy is based by?
Probably by harvesting sugarcane.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The truth is, Honduras is located in the middle of Latin America, bordering Nicaragua and Guatemala. It is mostly known for its sandy beaches and great sailing resorts, and is also a stopping point for American cruise ships and a center for tourism in Central America. That being said, Honduras is still the second poorest country in Latin America. Think of it in these terms. The USA GPD was about $15 trillion last year. Yes, even this bad economy, we are still the richest country in the world by far. China comes in second with about $11 trillion. So what is Honduras' GPD? Well, it's about $35 billion. This means that Bill Gates could buy the country and still have $14 billion to spare. The United States could actually buy Honduras 4,285 times. My point being is that Honduras is very, very poor, and in its present economic condition, there's only one way for a person to earn a decent living, and that's by hunting lobster. Now, when people think of lobster being collected, they think of people dragging nets along the bottom of the ocean and laying down traps. But in reality, these people are so poor that they must actually go down, diving deep into the ocean, and collect the lobster themselves. Making matters worse, Honduran divers only have second-hand air tanks with no gauges, old masks, and air tubes that are half rubber, half duct tape. Oh, and most of the time, they go hunt for lobster, they have to crown themselves in fishing boats with up to 100 other men, because they can't afford single boats themselves. The alternative is to go out in pairs in old canoes and paddle out into the ocean, where one person dives while the other stays in the boat. So the conditions aren't ideal. The biggest danger divers face is called decompression sickness, commonly referred to as the bends. What happens when a diver goes deep underwater is nitrogen is broken down and absorbed into their tissues. The problem is, when they ascend back up to the surface, if they go too rapidly, they will form bubbles in their joints along their elbows, hands, knees, and ankles. This can leave all of their joints aching and in severe pain, and in worst cases, permanent paralysis and even death. If an American diver was suffering from decompression sickness or the bends, they would be rushed to a decompression chamber, where they would stay for 4 days as the nitrogen is let out of their bodies slowly. Of course, in Honduras, there's only one decompression chamber, and on average, it is 6 hours away from most dive sites. If a diver somehow got there within about 2 hours and could afford the treatment, they would regain movement in their wrists, shoulder, and elbow. But in the majority of cases, the legs are permanently paralyzed. If you were to walk around a slum in Honduras, seeing men in crutches or wheelchairs is not an unfamiliar sight. The divers of Honduras risk their lives for such little money. Since 2003, the Association of Disabled Mosquito Divers has registered 352 deaths from the bends, and it is estimated that 3,500 divers have sustained injuries. Last season, there were 67 boats still preferring to dive for the lobster as opposed to setting up traps, which is regarded as a safer, if not more costly, alternative. Because diving for lobster is one of the only ways people of Honduras can make money, the lobster population is declining extremely fast. This way, each year, the divers must go farther and farther out, deeper and deeper under the water to search for lobster. And that only increases the chance for something to go wrong. And less lobster means more danger. So then what do? First off, boycotting lobster is not the solution. Their economy will suffer and only push the divers even further into poverty. Until lobster diving is more regulated and the Americans think about where their meals come from, the mosquito men will continue to risk their lives to provide us with a seafood delicacy. If only we could find some low-cost way to give the divers nets and traps, we could save hundreds of lives each year. The United States gives millions upon millions of dollars to African countries to help fight AIDS and poverty, so why not help Honduras and other Central American countries? Perhaps if Honduras and other countries of Central America had a little more publicity, they probably would.